Hello and welcome to the IT Expert View interview. My name is Stephen Pritchard. Data storage is one of the biggest challenges facing companies right now, with some analysts saying the amount of information that the average business is trying to store is increasing by about 65% every year. As a result, companies are having to handle more information, and they're also having to keep that information for longer. Storage costs are going up, and IT systems are actually becoming less efficient. Can the IT industry help? And can IT resellers and consultants provide a better storage solution to their customers? One of the experts in this space who spent more than 20 years in the storage business is HP's head of StorageWorks in EMEA, GarryVeale, and he joins us now. Thank you very much for joining us.
You're welcome.
Just if we want to take a step back and look at the overall storage problem, we've got industry analysts naming figures of anywhere between 50 and 100% storage growth year on year. What's driving the increase in demand for storage?
It is a challenge certainly for business and industry. Multiple areas that are driving this. Just generically, the digitization of information, whether in pictures or voice, everything now has become digital. So clearly, that's driving massive explosion. Other drivers in the economy are things such as compliance, data retention records. Just this week, we heard that in the UK now, the NHS is retaining data for the average life of a British citizen plus 25 years. That's a 95-year retention policy. That's going to drive up the amount of data you have. The other area we're seeing is the whole competitive nature of customer satisfaction and customer service, customer records, customer logs. That's driving up and really driving data exponentially through the roof.
This is very simple stuff, such as the fact that calls are recorded, and increasingly that's recorded onto a hard disk rather than tape, for example.
Almost every piece of data is recorded now, from data clicks on a website to customer records to incoming phone calls. Everything is now recorded and stored. This wasn't stored before. New applications are driving this around, SRM, CRM. So this, everything seems to be driving increased data management, increased data storage.
How big a problem is that for companies in terms of their IT departments and the costs that they face as well?
I think if you talk to the majority of customers, they'll tell you that the information management question is becoming really one of the top of mind questions they're having to face. It's a large part of their budget. It's a large part of their design issue. So I think it's really in the top one or two areas that businesses are trying to get a better grip on today and cope with as industry changes, as technology changes.
Are SMEs finding it harder to deal with than perhaps large enterprises who have teams of storage specialists that they can deploy to manage all this?
I think that is a challenge. So what tends to happen in the larger enterprises, the next wave, invariably hits the SME companies. So they get that same explosion of data. The difference is they don't normally have the same amount of experience, the same amount of resources, and certainly not the same amount of budget in order to be able to provide, well-designed, planned strategies. So for SMEs, it certainly is a much bigger challenge and one that's hitting them very hard right now.
People who are responsible for running IT in smaller companies have often said that they're running to stand still. I think with SMEs in particular, they don't have a dedicated IT person oftentimes, let alone a dedicated storage person. From an industry point of view, how can you help? What can actually be offered to the smaller company to make the storage that they have to have more manageable?
Well, one or two things we're doing. First of all, at HP, we have a long history and experience of working with SMBs. We have a division in the business. We have a whole business offering designed around SMBs. We call it Simply StorageWorks. And what we've tried to do with Simply StorageWorks is tackle some of the key issues that the IT management, or sometimes not dedicated IT management, but management in SMEs are asking us for, which is, can you provide us with integrated solutions so we don't have to put them together ourselves? So take away the difficulty around interfaces and try and package them together for us. So we've designed a set of solutions around data protection, around consolidation, and around solutions where we, on behalf of the SME customers, pre-bundle, pre-integrate the interfaces to make it easy for them to deploy, because they don't have the technology sometimes and the expertise to do that.
So what an SME would like is a storage array or a storage system or storage capacity in a box, two cables, one for power, one for the network, but they still want the scalability, the redundancy, the resilience, and the manageability that the enterprises have in their much larger systems. Is that in any way achievable?
It is. In fact, what they're asking for is a little bit more than that. They're also asking us, can we bundle together and include some of the applications around backup and recovery and interface with some of the key applications they have. So it's a combination of hardware, software, and then the way that we package the offering together, we use our extensive network of partners. You know, we have a very dedicated, a very extensive network of partners who can deliver the services to help, if required, and many times it is required, those SMEs actually make that work. So it's hardware, software, partner services, that gives you that kind of total care wraparound that these customers are asking for.
And when it comes to services for storage, it's not just the installation and setup, is it?
No, it starts with a design piece. You know, what is the customer requirements? What is his budget? What SLAs does he have? What service levels is he trying to drive back to the business? And also his time scales. If he has time to plan something well out, however, that often isn't the case. So that's why the pre-configured solutions are much better. So yeah, it's a total wraparound service, and includes the ongoing maintenance as well, and the ongoing support and revision of that solution to make sure it continues to meet the customer requirements.